I've always believed that family is everything, that no matter what happens, the people who share your blood would never betray you. But as I stand here today, about to tell you my story, I want you to listen carefully. Because sometimes the ones who smile the brightest at you are the ones sharpening the knife behind your back. My name is Chloe, and not long ago, I had everything I thought I'd ever wanted. A beautiful home filled with laughter, a thriving business I built with my own 2 hands, and a family I believed loved me unconditionally. At least, that's what I thought. I remember the morning everything began to change. The sun was streaming through the curtains of my bedroom, painting golden patterns on the walls. I woke up feeling blessed, humming a little tune as I slipped into my robe. Life was good, or so it seemed. As I walked into the kitchen, the smell of coffee filled the air, mingling with the buttery scent of fresh bread. My cousin, Sarah, was already there, leaning casually against the counter, sipping from a delicate porcelain cup. She looked up at me with a warm smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Good morning," she said smoothly. Her voice was calm, pleasant even, but there was always something about Sarah that made me feel unsettled. Maybe it was the way she always seemed to know a little too much about everyone's business, or the way her compliments often felt like carefully wrapped insults. Still, I pushed those thoughts aside. She was family. Family is supposed to be trusted, right? "Morning, Sarah," I replied, forcing a smile. "You're up early." She gave a little shrug. Couldn't sleep. Too many thoughts. Then she glanced at me in that sideways of hers and said, "You really have it all, don't you? A beautiful house, a successful business, everyone just adores you." The words seemed sweet, but her tone was strange, almost bitter. I laughed it off, pretending not to notice. But a tiny seed of unease planted itself deep inside me that morning. Over the next few weeks, little things began to happen. At first, they seemed random. I'd trip on a step I could have sworn I saw clearly. A jar of preserves fell from the top shelf and smashed dangerously close to my feet. One night, I even woke up to the smell of smoke only to find a candle had accidentally tipped over near my curtains. Each time, there was an explanation, an accident, a coincidence, or so I told myself. But deep down, something didn't feel right. The first time I truly felt the chill of suspicion was at a family dinner. We were all gathered around the long dining table, candles flickering, laughter echoing off the walls. My relatives were in high spirits. My Aunt Margaret, loud and opinionated as always, my brother Michael, cracking jokes between mouthfuls of food, and Sarah, sitting gracefully at the far end, watching everyone with that mysterious smile. I raised my glass to make a toast, thanking everyone for their love and support. As I spoke, I noticed Sarah glance quickly at Michael, and for a split second, their expressions shifted. It was so fast, I almost missed it. But in that tiny, fleeting moment, I saw something dark, something ugly flash between them. Jealousy, resentment, and maybe even something worse. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the moment in my head over and over. Why had they looked at each other like that? Why did it feel like I was missing a piece of a puzzle? The following day, I tried to shake it off by focusing on work. My company had been doing well, and we were preparing for an important deal that could secure our future for years to come. I poured myself into the project, determined to ignore my growing paranoia. But as I left the office that evening, I overheard 2 employees whispering near the elevator. "She doesn't even know what they're planning," one voice said. My heart skipped a beat. I froze, straining to hear more. I heard Sarah talking to Michael, the other replied. Something about the estate and how things will finally be theirs soon. My breath caught in my throat. Surely they weren't talking about me. Surely it was just a misunderstanding. I stepped out from the shadows, ready to confront them. But by the time I reached the spot, they were gone, their words lingering like ghosts in the air. From that moment, my world shifted. Every laugh at family dinners felt mocking. Every kind word felt laced with poison. I started noticing how Sarah would stand a little too close when she poured my tea, or how Michael would offer to fix things around the house only to leave tools scattered dangerously. It wasn't paranoia anymore. It was real. They wanted something from me, something they weren't willing to wait for. The final straw came one rainy night when I walked past Sarah's room and heard voices inside. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but the door was slightly ajar, and their words stopped me cold. "Everything is set," Sarah whispered. "Once it happens, no one will suspect us. We'll inherit everything." Michael's low voice replied, "Good. I'm tired of living under her shadow. By this time next week, she'll be gone, and the house, the business, the money, it'll all be ours." I stumbled backwards, my hand flying to my mouth to stifle a gasp. They were talking about me. There was no longer any doubt. That was the moment I realized someone I loved wanted me dead.